works for you. Take it back no matter what you do. The truth, breathe it out, face your boundaries. Our mission trudge through the mud of time. This truth casts shadows in the dark. Shadows in the dark.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope everybody's doing good. First things first, we did a really good interview last night. A guy named Lee. He is he's one of Angie Williamson's family members. It's her cousin's husband. Anyway, he works for a railroad, and he had a pretty amazing Class A sighting. And his description's really good. It's a really good story. It's got a very active area. He's pretty much gone down the rabbit hole. He's got the bug now after this sighting, and he's been going to conferences, and he's got it sounds like a very, very active area in East Texas. So we're going to be exploring that a little more here later on as time goes on, but it's a really good one. Go watch that. It's on this channel. It's the Sasquatch Unredacted podcast. We also have, it's actually has its own channel, YouTube channel. It just streams live to the Sasquatch Encounter Brigade and to Bigfoot Florida Guy, which is Richard's channel. Anyway, go watch that. Good stuff. I had some really good activity the other night, and I've been really trying to take my time on this to try to really explain, kind of nerded out a little bit on this one because of one of the throws. And I'm really trying hard to get the point across about what I experienced. Now, for over a month now, I've had activity, right? And I've gotten a few things on video, but I went to a 4-camera system, and I did that in preparation for, I knew September was going to be, that's usually when everything starts up around here. So while all the activity's going on, I'm going down to the sitting spot, like I normally do this time of year, with the new system, which was this pack with a camera here, camera on the back, and a camera on the front, right? Well, I kept going down there. There were indicators that they were around for a while. There's just a few nights I had activity, but I wasn't getting anything down at the sitting spot. And I thought, well, maybe, number one, I've got a bunch of cameras all over me now. And this pack, in general, everywhere where you see silver, it's super reflective. So maybe the combination of all of that is maybe spooking them a little bit. And I even said it, I did a live, I don't know, it was almost 2 weeks ago now, probably. With the newborn here, time's kind of running together now. But I talked about the fact that I needed to test this theory. So I just went down there one night with one front-facing camera and my thermal. I had activity that night. In fact, I had activity 3 nights in a row. The first night I went down there with the front-facing camera and a thermal, and you're going to see on my way down there, there is a little bit of movement out in front of me that I can hear. I don't see anything on thermal. I do end up catching something that looks like eye shine in the video. Of course, there's animals all in these woods. There's no telling what that was. I go down there. I go to the sitting spot. I'm not there, but maybe, I don't even know if it's 2 minutes. And I'm looking around with the thermal, and there's a very close throw. Okay, it lands super close. There's a couple other breaks, a couple other throws. It's a pretty impressive night. And there's even a point to where it's not like a long, it's extended period of interactions. It only lasts for maybe 10 minutes, if that. There wasn't a ton, but I was definitely convinced that they were there. But I'm standing there and I say something like, all right, in order for me, it's after a couple throws. And I'm like, in order for me to be convinced that that's a throw, I'm going to need a little something more than that, fellas. Come on now. Well, shortly after I say that, or kind of like right when I'm saying it, you hear it sounds like a obvious, like a hollow knock, and then a vocal. It's like a wah. Now, I'm not saying they're responding to, hey, guys, show me a little more, and then they give me a little more. That's not what's happening. I don't believe that at all. It's just timing. And I didn't hear that in person. All right, so night one is pretty good. Night two, I go down there. I bring peanut butter down to the gifting area, and then I come back up to the sitting spot. Pretty much the same kind of stuff. I'm not even going to go through showing night two because there's no real smoking gun in there. There is breaking, there is throwing. They're definitely there, but there's no vocals. There's no like real intentional sounding banging. Now I know they're there, but there's no reason to make the video another 20 minutes longer with noises you're going to hear in the other two nights, okay? Night three was the night that things kind of, it was, I don't even know how to describe it. Number one, I didn't expect, it was really, really weird. I had a real, like a bad feeling that night, actually. And I didn't expect anything to happen. I've never had activity 3 nights in a row at the sitting spot like that. Never. This is year 3. I usually don't have 2 nights in a row. I think that's only happened like maybe once or twice. And usually, on average, I think every year for like 2 to 3 month period of time, I might get like 6 nights of interactions. But I get 3 nights in a row. That's pretty, that in itself is already very impressive. Now, I forgot to bring this up. The first night I go down there with just the front facing camera and my thermal. The second night is when I've made the transition to, I moved everything off that real reflective pack onto a fanny pack. So I got the 2 side facing cameras. I put a camera on the back and then I wear one on the front. So that's how I was geared up on night 2. And I had the activity on night 2. Night 3, again, I go down there. And I just want to check out the peanut butter that I left. I go down there, I check out the peanut butter, I come back up, I do a couple knocks and stuff, I wait a little bit, I hear some kind of strange noise up ahead of me, and still, I put it in Audacity, I have no idea what this noise is, it's not even really that important. Anyway, I'm like, all right, well, maybe that's them. And then I start getting throws. I think it's maybe I don't know if the very first throw was that close or not. I can't remember. There's a few things that happened that let me know they're there. And then I get 2 very, very close throws that come very close to me. I was already feeling nervous for whatever reason. And again, I didn't think that they would be there, number one. And number two, there's been just a few times in the past to where I just feel like I don't want to be doing this. Like it's like I don't want the adrenaline rush, because I do get an adrenaline rush. And usually I go down there, and one of the hardest parts is waiting, because I'm standing out there, usually sitting in the dark, no lights on. I try making a few noises and I wait. And that time period where I'm waiting for something to happen, sometimes they're already down there. Other times I may wait 20, 30 minutes for them to come in and start doing something. But for whatever reason, man, my anxiety level was just, I felt like I wanted to leave the entire time I was having interactions, from the time I got there to the time I left. Well, at the very end, after I've had a lot of the activity, finally I'm pretty relaxed. Usually it doesn't bother me. It bothered me the other night, and I don't know why. And finally, I just settled into it. But it was, and I bring this up, and I'm explaining this because, you know, a lot of people have asked in the past, are you scared being down there in the woods or being out in the woods with these things at night? Yes, I am. And usually it doesn't bother me, though, because it's like anything else in life. You do it over and over again, and you kind of get accustomed to it. But some nights, I'm not real good at controlling it, but I do stick it out. You know, the important thing is to stay there. And I'm glad I did, because the throws, so the first throw that we're talking about right now, that, I mean, there's a couple throws, but the ones that are really impressive, when I hear it coming in and it hits the ground, I realize two things. Number one, it came from really far away. I could tell that. And it also hit very close. I have not found that one I haven't been able to go through the side facing video yet. I don't know if I've got that one recorded or not. The second one, kind of the same thing. I know it's coming from a good distance away. I don't think that one flew as far as the first one, but it hits really close. And I capture it in the video. Okay, the camera records it, and it's going straight like this, like right across, just a couple feet in front of me. But I don't have any lights on, so I can't see it, right? But I knew it hit close. But it's obviously coming at an angle like this, okay? Now, the important part about throw number one is this. Again, I knew it came from far away. I didn't realize how far away it came from. I didn't realize, because I'm thinking in my head, we're kind of getting to the point to where, for me personally, it's time for me to crap or get off the pot. These experiences are amazing. It's the pinnacle of everything I've been trying to do. To have them come in and interact like that is amazing. When it comes to proving the existence of Sasquatch, I'm not really getting anywhere. You pretty much have to know me and trust me, or just believe me, in order for this to be amazing evidence. And I still think it is amazing evidence. And I think some of the vocals, and I'm learning a lot about the interactions they do on night 3. I think they do the mimic thing. I've had a couple times in the past where I make slapping noises and then they mimic that. There's a little bit of something like that on night 3 that I recorded. All of it's really great, but I'm ready to get over that hump. I don't know how I'm going to get there yet, but you know, that's kind of rolling around in my head. That, and how do I prove that these throws aren't just objects falling out of a tree? How do I prove it's not just misidentification? Because that's very possible. I'm in the woods. And that's rule number 1. Things fall out of trees. Even in the middle of a very obvious interaction, there's still going to be noises in the woods. There's still going to be objects that fall out of trees. There's still going to be other animals. On night 2, which I don't even include in here again, there was something back behind me, and it was running around like real erratically. But to me, it sounded like an armadillo. So again, I'm not worried about that. We're not even going to go into that. So how do I prove that this isn't just something falling out of a tree? Well, with this one, it's pretty freaking easy. From the time you hear, what it does is you hear a very loud, the first hit, it's hitting a branch. Then there's like 2 or 3 other hits, like a light one. Then it comes through the leaves. Then it hits the ground. From the very first hit until it hits the ground, it's 8 seconds. That object is in the air for 8 seconds. Technically, it's longer. Whether it fell, because in order for it to have that very first whack, that's kind of, it's not real indicative of something falling out of a tree, but let's say it is. It's still longer technically than 8 seconds, and we have no idea how much longer. But going based on the first time it hits a branch until it lands, that's 8 freaking seconds. So I went into ChatGPT and I kind of explained what was going on, and then I wanted to know, let's say hypothetically, that this is just an object falling out of a tree. I wanted to know, how tall would the tree have to be in order for like an acorn to fall out of the tree, hit a branch 4 different times, come through leaves and hit the ground? How tall would that tree have to be in order for that to last 8 seconds? ChatGPT said the tree would have to be in between 500 and 700 feet tall. Okay, that's what we're dealing. That's an 8-second hang time of just falling straight down. And I know very well I'm the one. You're not out there with me experiencing it, so I understand. But I'm hearing it come in, right? So I knew it was in the air a long time. I didn't realize how long until I got it up on Audacity. But in order for it to be an object falling out of a tree, it would have to be at least a 500-foot tree. There are no 500-foot trees out here. There's no 100-foot trees out here, which in itself is super impressive. I don't know how to figure out horizontally or laterally, like how far. There's no way to know exactly how far away it came from using just this. There might be a way to analyze the sound waves and all that good stuff that's way over my head. But I can tell you this. This object did not fall out of a 500-foot tree. Okay, this is a throw that came from very far off. And it actually, realizing that, actually kind of, spiked my adrenaline a little bit again. And I really don't know why. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, realizing how far away these throws were coming from. And one of them, like the third one, I end up saying something like, Jesus Christ, because I hear one out in front of me, and it comes through the trees, and it lands like not behind me, near me, but like behind me relatively, if that makes sense. So it's far away, but it's behind me, and I hear it the whole way. It's out in front of me. Whack, 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 whack. And it's like it just stays in the air forever. So these throws were super impressive. And it's very interesting that, just realizing how long they stayed in the air for. And again, I got the second one recorded. It's just as obvious as can be. Now, sometimes, depending on the size of the object, it's kind of difficult because there's bugs flying all over the place and everything else. And in night vision, that infrared light, it reflects off of everything, moving or not, right? So it's sometimes you can misidentify things coming across. It might just be a bug, but this is super obvious. It's obviously coming at an angle. It's not falling down straight. It's coming across right in front of me at an angle. So that's pretty cool. But we're going to take a look at all this. We're going to start with night one. Pretty decent night, pretty short, pretty neat things in there. But then night three, very impressive. I'm very happy with what I've captured. But again, I'm going to have to level up. The only way to get them on camera with those night vision cameras is to let them get as close as humanly possible. So I'm going to have to get back in the habit of sitting my butt down on the ground again and trying to let them come up behind me. That's the only way it's going to happen. I'm doing this. I'm not doing this just to make videos. I have a purpose. I'm trying to prove their existence. And there's really only one way I know how to do that in this particular situation. I got to let them get closer. So we'll see how that goes. I'll talk to y'all later. Here's night one. There appears to be a little bit of eye shine in. I hear a little bit of movement out in front of me. On my way down there, I stop about halfway. But there's a bunch of animals in the woods. No telling what that is. Nothing showed up on thermal. Something. Damn, that just hit right next to me. I hope I got that on video. Holy shit. Let's see if we can find what that was. To me, it sounds like movement before the throw, like a foot pushing off. The throw hits the ground, whatever the object is, and then there's a snap afterwards, like something moving away. But I heard it not come straight down. It hit stuff coming from that direction on the way in. Hey, buddy. It's really hard to stay here after stuff like that happens, because I'm going to run back and check the video as quick as possible. Come on. I'm about to be a little snarky and say, in order for that to be a throw, I'm going to need a little more evidence. And then I don't realize there is what sounds like a knock and a vocal right when I'm saying that. Now, in order for that to be a throw, I'm going to need a little more, fellas. You gotta be careful, because this is because I'm gonna run back and check the video as quick as possible. Come on. Because I'm going to run back and check the video as quick as possible. Come on. Now, in order for that to be a throw, I'm going to need a little more, fellas. You You gotta be careful because this is the time of year also. Now, in order for that to be a throw, I'm gonna need a little more, fellas. You gotta be alright. Is that you? Thank you. That's crazy, man. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Woo-hoo. Getting close. Getting close. In the process of editing the video, I found a second throw. Getting close. Right there. So every time I listen to it, it actually pushes back a little more. I find a new click. Originally, I thought it was at like this one right here, 43.17. So a little over 43 seconds. But this one is a better one, which is at 42.88 seconds. So basically the flight of the object, it hits, you start hearing it like right here. And then you hear it hit a couple more objects, whack, whack, whack. Then there's like one in here somewhere, and then you hear it going through leaves, and then it stops at the 51 point. It's almost 52 seconds. It's over 8 seconds. It's more like 9-second flight time, but you know, not that much of a difference, I guess. Of course, it may be another 100 feet for all I know, but anyway. So you hear that whack, whack, whack. Okay. So it's whack, whack, whack. Long flight time, hits a few things, and then goes back. That one. Okay. That. Woo-hoo. Okay. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. Getting close. Okay. Woo-hoo. Getting close. What the? God dang, that was launched. God, I'm shaking like a leaf. I don't have a great feeling tonight. job. Thank you. God, I don't know why I'm so nervous tonight. I'm gonna stop right now. I'm gonna turn this on. And then I get to my sitting spot. I do a couple knocks, barely. And then a few minutes later, they start throwing things. And the first throw is in. And then a few minutes later, they start throwing things. And the first throw is in. What is that? And the first throw is in. And the first throw is in. Folks, what else do I have to do? God almighty, why can't I get these things on video? I hear you. Mato. Mato. Thank you. Thank you. My God, man. Is that it? Oh, okay. Thank you. See, now I'm relaxed. Dude, that was just too much at once.